Clear Channel Communications Incorporated.
Welcome to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ, offering support for those who care for a loved one. A show that cares about you and supports and encourages you, the caregiver. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here because today I am celebrating my 4th year on the Caregiver Hour radio show. It is just an awesome feeling, and I'm so thrilled to have some guests that you know, and then a surprise guest. And so welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show. I'm your host, Kim Linder, and just if you are tuning in for the first time or the 1,000th time, I just want to let you know that I am very grateful that you have tuned in, and maybe you're watching us live web stream, or maybe you're listening to us on an, on a computer or on your phone or in the car on the radio. Whatever way it is, I'm so glad that you feel a sense of being a part of this show. The purpose is to help you as the caregiver create balance in your life, to have the tools, the information, and the guidance to make a difference in your caregiver journey, that it's not just, I'm caring for a loved one or a patient or a friend. It has purpose to it. It has meaning. And you have the ability and the opportunity to really make it a journey where you learn some things about yourself and about the person you're caring for and the people that are all around that circle of caregiving and making those important decisions. We have this show available to you 24/7. There are podcasts and archives on our website, thecaregiverhour.com. And we also have a helpline now for caregivers. Yes, just for you. You can call in and get information, or you can click online and check us out. Again, our website is thecaregiverhour.com, and our helpline is 1-877-552-4950. I want to first bring on a guest who surprised me today, my wonderful dear friend, Susan Heron. And Susan, welcome to the Caregiver Hour radio show.
Thank you, Kim. This is a surprise for me to be on the radio with you.
Well, one good deed deserves another. So I walk into the studio and there's my friend Susan, and I'm thinking, did I make our plans to have her on the radio show? Did I make lunch plans with her? And I totally forgot. And so we giggled, and she said, no, I'm here to help you celebrate.
Yes, I am. You know, I've been with you since the inception of the idea for you to have a radio show. And actually, 4 years ago, I got on a plane in Philadelphia to come down and take part in the launch at the Safety Harbor Spa.
That's
when
right.
You were introducing the concept of your radio show to the healthcare community. And it was wonderful to share that experience with you. And I have been part of for different projects, and also watching you make the show a success and integrate that into your business, and just trying to give the healthcare community as much resources as they can use, as well as information, and really bringing the healthcare community into the 21st century for all types of information.
Thank you. I remember, because you and I have known each other for almost 30 years, when you were caring for your parents.
Yes.
And we weren't calling it caregiving. We were just talking, Susan's caring for her parents, her aging parents.
That's
remember?
right. My mother had dementia.
Right.
They lived in Connecticut. We had a series of home health aides. It became too difficult. My brother lived out of town, and it sort of fell to me with the responsibility. We moved them to Philadelphia, and we took care of them, as well as integrated home health for them,
Right.
and until my mother passed away.
Yeah, so I was there for your journey, not knowing that it was going to be a foundation of what I was going to do later on. It's just interesting how that works in our lives. Yes. So, so I'm celebrating 4 years, and it's very exciting, and I thank you so much for the wonderful surprise.
And thank you for the surprise as well. This has been a lot of fun.
Well, Susan, you've been at some of the symposiums. We've done symposiums. You've been there for
Yes.
each one of those as well. And we just did some road shows, and you've been there just as well. So
Yes.
you've been this wonderful person who really is so capable of putting projects together and getting things done. And I just feel all your love and support all the time.
Well, thank you. It's wonderful to be able to share.
Well,
and
thank
help
you,
with
sweetie.
that.
Thank you. We will have a celebration lunch today, I'm sure.
We will.
Yep. So if you are a caregiver, you've tuned into the right show. It's called the Caregiver Hour radio show. And today we're going to be doing myths and facts of self-care. And today's guests are Dr. Kelly Miller, who is at Miller Clinic for Optimal Health, and wonderful Tina Costa, RN Regional Sales Manager at Arcadia Home Care and Staffing, who's been part of this show for many, many years. And Tina, welcome back to the Caregiver Hour.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's nice. It feels like old home to you, I
Yeah,
know.
it does. It's so awesome. Such a completely different feeling than the very first show that we ever did.
Well, I think also, I was thinking this last night as I was mentally preparing for the show and just getting myself ready, is that how this show has really helped you grow and think so outside the box.
Oh, yeah. Whether I wanted to or not, Kim, thank you very much.
It's been all good, though.
Yes,
I knew
has.
you could
Yes,
do it.
has. Yeah, thank God you were right.
Yes.
'Cause, yeah, I have. It has brought me to a different level.
Yes.
Not only personally, but professionally.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So we're going to be talking about myths and facts of self-care today. So I'm going to have Dr. Miller come on after the break, and then we're going to have you come on and talk about some wonderful things that you and your company, Arcadia Home Care and Staffing, are doing.
Yep.
Take a break. I cannot get over this flyer when you sent it to me.
Isn't it perfect?
It is. Why don't
It
we just
is.
briefly talk about it, because we have a few minutes.
Sure, absolutely. It is, we have a variety of different programs and service packages and things like that. But obviously, this is a biggie that we use quite frequently because a lot of times it's just going in there and being an extension of the primary caregiver. And it may be for something as little as an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, just to give them that opportunity to step away for a little bit, just a brief period of time and refresh.
Well, even the way this is written, it's called Take a Break. And I'll just show you the flyer. I know we have a copy of it that John Gaston from Tampa Multimedia is going to put up for us when he can. But in the meantime, I just want you to see this flyer and the commitment that Arcadia Home Care and Staffing has done. And caregiving is a noble, selfless act of love and kindness, but it's also demanding and exhausting physically, mentally, and emotionally. And that is so true, as you know. We all need to recharge our batteries in order to have the energy and stamina necessary to care for our loved ones and attend to all of our responsibilities. And that's the pull that caregivers have all the time.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
And whether it's 2 hours a week, every week, or an occasional evening or weekend, Arcadia can provide a compassionate, qualified caregiver to allow you respite from your daily routine and the peace of mind that your loved one is safe and secure. And that, when I read that, I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what we talk about on the show. So your company
yeah.
did a fabulous job
Well, thank
listening to you, because I'm sure you directed them.
No, probably not as much as I would like to think, but I think it's the overall consensus
Message,
and message that we want to send. And it's amazing, though, unfortunately, sometimes people wait too long
Yes.
to utilize something like that. So our whole premise is to get in and let us start early before it gets to the point where the caregiver has problems or issues.
So I'm going to give you the information in case you're just listening to the show. And if you want to call and just find out about respite care, please call 727-579-9414. Again, here's a sense of really telling you how this company really has made a commitment to the caregivers in our community, our listeners and our viewers. And Arcadia is all over. It's not just here in the Tampa Bay area. Where other locations are there, Tina?
Oh, well, we're in different states all across the country. So what I would suggest to people, and here in Florida alone, we're in Jacksonville, Ocala, Daytona, Tampa, and then St. Petersburg, and looking to expand in the near future. But I would just direct folks to our primary website,
Okay.
arcadiahomecare.com, and they can. It's very easily to direct them through to find out if
Okay.
we have services in their area. But if they can also call any office, and they'll be able to direct them as well.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you're interested in that respite, taking a break, do it now, especially during the summertime. There may be a special occasion that you want to be involved in, and this is your opportunity to set that all up. Give it a test drive, see what it's like, do it for a few days, and just give yourself that break that you so deserve. And I know that I didn't take that break and I burned out, and it's not a pretty picture for anyone involved. And so why should you have to suffer? And why should your loved ones see you suffer as well? So again, I encourage you to take a break and call Arcadia. We're going to be taking a break right now for our sponsors and then coming right back with Dr. Kelly Miller. Looking forward to having a conversation with him. Stay with us. I'm Kim Linder, your host on the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
Caregiving can be an overwhelming and stressful experience. Aston Gardens, Tampa Bay's premier senior living community, is excited to be able to support those who care for others. Please join them the third Thursdays of the month at 5:30 p.m. to learn creative problem-solving techniques and caregiving ideas from others who have been in your shoes. Aston Gardens specializes in independent living, assisted living, and memory care. Chosen for the third year in a row by the U.S. Commerce Association for the Best of Tampa Bay Award in residential care. Call 813-855-2811 or visit astongardens.com for more info.
Your home is where you feel relaxed, safe, and secure. Arcadia Home Care understands that you want to maintain that freedom and independence, even though you may be recuperating from an injury, illness, or simply require a little support with daily activities of living. You create a plan for your life as you envision it, and you can rest assured Arcadia will provide companionship, personal care, housekeeping, shopping and errands, or whatever you need. They deliver their services with compassion, dependability, and professionalism. Their caregivers are screened, bonded, and insured, and must meet rigorous hiring standards, so you are confident you're receiving the best care possible for you or your loved one. Visit ArcadiaHomeCare.com or call St. Petersburg at 727-579-9414 to schedule your free in-home assessment and learn how Arcadia can enhance your quality of life while helping you stay at home and healthier longer. Call Arcadia Home Care, 727-579-9414, providing quality services since 1978.
St. Joseph's John Knox Village of Tampa Bay, Tampa's premier retirement community, is part of the Baycare Health System. John Knox Village is known for its successful aging lifestyle, along with spacious apartments. John Knox Village offers a wide range of activities to fill one's life spiritually, physically, mentally, educationally, and nutritionally. In addition, every level of care is available to meet the needs of the aging population. John Knox Village, comfortable, casual, and secure for life. To schedule a tour, call 1-800-272-5669.
Caregiving has gotten harder and more complicated, even as families have more and more demands on their time. That's why AARP is here to help caregivers with the tools, information, and support they need to care for their loved ones and themselves. Check out aarp.org/caregiving to connect with other caregivers like yourself and find the resources you need. Visit the AARP Caregiver Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
If you or a loved one experience bladder control problems, here's important news.
For more than 5 years now, the nice ladies at the Caregiver Partnership have taken the time to understand my needs, suggest the best choices of bladder control products for me, and always get the right product delivered to my door fast and with free shipping.
To get started, simply call 800-985-1353 for your free catalog and $60 in coupons. Many people just like you trust the Caregiver Partnership for convenient home delivery of bladder control products, and they have more than 500 to choose from. Call now. The call is free, shipping is free, and your satisfaction is guaranteed.
The Caregiver Partnership treats me like family and really knows their stuff, and they keep my business private.
Call 1-800-985-1353 now to receive your free catalog with $60 in coupons. That's 1-800-985-1353. Call now. The voice in the preceding advertisement is not the voice of an actual customer. It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. I'm your host, Kim Linder, and this is our 4th year being on the radio, and we're so thrilled to have some special guests with us today. Dr. Kelly Miller at Miller Clinic for Optimal Health is helping me create balance in my life, doing some self-care with my hormones, with my eating, with my exercise. And I am highly recommending you set up an appointment and meet with him and have a consult. He has a wealth of knowledge. His approach is very kind and very gentle and very, you feel safe with him. Because sometimes it's really hard to go to someone and talk about all the stuff that's going on with you. But I have to tell you, it was a great experience. And that's part of why I have Dr. Kelly Miller on the show, because I'm highly recommending that you set this appointment up for yourself. So, Dr. Miller, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. I didn't know it was your anniversary.
It is.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. So why don't we give people who maybe haven't heard you before a little of your background?
Okay. I'm been a chiropractor since 1980. I graduated from Logan College of Chiropractic in St. Louis, and I had worn many hats through the years. I became certified as an industrial occupational consultant in 1991. Became certified in acupuncture in 1996, certified as a naturopathic physician in 2001, and most recently have just finished a fellowship from Brazil in aging regenerative medicine, out of self-preservation.
That sounds very interesting. We should definitely have that topic on the show one week.
On aging?
On aging,
sure.
Because that sounds very interesting. But in the meantime, we're talking about myths and facts of self-care. And you just heard us talk about Tina Costa and Arcadia Home Care and Staffing and how they're offering respite to help people who are so tired. And you had mentioned sleep. So why don't we start with that myth and fact of self-care?
Sure. One of the things I hear people say is that, during the week, if I'm working or I do this, I'll get 4 or 5 hours sleep. I'll catch up on the weekend.
Yes.
I'll sleep all day Sunday,
Yes.
or I'll sleep in on the weekend.
Caregivers say that.
And unfortunately, that doesn't work that way. We really I need 7.5 hours sleep. If I don't get 7.5 hours, I just don't feel right. But most of us need around 7 or 8. But there are huge many studies that show huge statistical problems if people get less than 6 hours of sleep on an average, and it equates to about 10 years less longevity.
Wow.
So if you would like to live longer and have quality life during that time, you get more sleep. But
for caregivers,
absolutely, they got to take care of themselves. And one of the things it does is they're already under stress.
Yes.
They're probably not eating optimally, and they're worried about this person.
Yes.
And that affects the adrenals, but sleep will deplete the adrenals as fast. So you can't repair your adrenals without sleep, and they need extra B and C vitamins all the time, because the more stress they're under, the more these nutrients they're using up.
So how much should they take? Because I'm listening to what you're saying. Most often their sleep is interrupted. They're either sleeping very lightly just in case the person needs care. I could just feel that right away. Right. Or they're just restless because they're thinking about what they're worried. So it's a worried sleep. So tell us what they should take to help with the adrenal.
Sure. I would recommend melatonin for 2 reasons. Even if normally our melatonin levels are going to peak around 3 a.m. in the morning. So if our sleep is interrupted, we have to turn on the lights. All it takes is open the refrigerator and that bright light for 30 seconds. It's going to kill your melatonin. Okay. You're on the computer at night. If you're trying to do something after dark, it's going to reduce your melatonin levels. So there is no toxic dosage of melatonin. There's no negative feedback on melatonin. Some things, if you take like a hormone, it will suppress your own body's production, but that is not true with melatonin. So we recommend a transdermal form, which I actually rub in my face because it's the most powerful antioxidant available to man. It's incredibly, it's anti-cancer, it's anti-heart disease.
And what is this again?
Melatonin.
Oh, wow.
We always think of melatonin as it's for jet lag or maybe sleep, but melatonin is a very powerful hormone. It's a master hormone, and it controls all our nighttime activities. Wow. It actually controls growth hormone.
So do you put that on in the evening?
Yes, I use about 2 pumps, 2 grams and it's on a liposome technology. It's probably a 98% absorption, and I rub it in the face. It's great because it helps reduce wrinkles. It helps get rid of sun damage from sun.
Right.
I used to be on the sun a lot, and it's very anti-cancer. So
Okay, so
very-
this is just a peek of what the information. This is why I'm recommending people to meet with you, because you have so much information. So tell us how they can be in touch with you.
Well, they can call the clinic, 813-774-3744. Visit my website, www.drkellymiller.com. It's Miller Clinic for Optimal Health. You can leave information. I have newsletters. I have 10 different newsletters, women's health, men's health. I write a newsletter almost every week usually on bioidentical hormone, things on anti-aging, and things I've learned this last year. They're very cutting edge. You can leave your name on there and request, I'm interested in this information. I'd like an appointment at a certain time. Then we can get back with you. And
Okay, great. So you also, if you're on our website, thecaregiverhour.com, Dr. Kelly Miller's link is right there on the radio show homepage, and it's also on the page that's Kim's preferred list. So there's 8 different ways that you can get to Dr. Miller just on our website, but I think by making that call today is going to really help you have optimal health and well-being. And for caregivers, that's my heart. That's me wanting to take care of you. We have 2 more minutes. So we talked about, you had a question about vitamin D. That's also something you said was a medical myth and fact. Can you help us with that?
sure, a lot of people think that I'm out in the sun for a little bit. I don't need to take any vitamin D. Also, one of the biggest myths is that vitamin D is a vitamin. And luckily, the person who discovered it labeled it as a vitamin rather than a hormone, or we wouldn't have access to it. But actually, vitamin D works with melatonin. Melatonin is in charge of all nighttime activities, and vitamin D is in charge of all our daytime activities. And there's actually a receptor site in every cell in the body. Vitally important. Anti-cancer, anti-heart disease, antidepressant, antiviral. If you have enough vitamin D levels, you can actually produce your own antibodies, and you can it'll activate genes that will produce antiviral substances for our body.
So how much should we be taking?
I would recommend everybody needs to check their levels and see where they're at. But reference levels are usually 32 to 100. Okay. People who live on the equator in the sun all the time have levels of 130. Personally, my goal is to stay between 100 and 130. So the closer, in the hormones, you want to be in the top quartile. Okay. So close to 100, if you're in the bottom, you increase mortality for everything.
Okay. Well, you have been a wealth of information, and I really appreciate that so much, Dr. Miller. So we have more information for you as Tina Costa comes back and we have a conversation. So stay with us. You're listening to the Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ.
Welcome to Air Ambulance Worldwide, a leader in the medical transfer industry. If you need to move a loved one anywhere in the world, we can help. You can reach our knowledgeable flight coordinators 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From the moment we receive your call, we'll plan and oversee every step of your patient's transfer, including ground ambulance in the departure and arrival city, private aircraft, and a personalized team of medical staff to travel alongside your patient until they arrive safely at their final destination. All members of our medical staff have at least 5 years of ICU and CCU experience.
Patient care and safety is always the number one concern at Air Ambulance Worldwide. Our customer service is exceptional. Our affiliate, Arcadia Enterprises, manages our aircraft. Arcadia is an Argus Gold safety-rated company. Air Ambulance Worldwide is URAMI accredited. That accreditation says that both our medical protocols and our safety record in aviation is exceptional.
Air Ambulance Worldwide's flagship aircraft is the extraordinary Piaggio P180, which provides the very best cabin environment available for your patient's care. The interior is 50% larger than a Learjet 35, so there is ample room to work closely with the patient. With a stand-up cabin, it can carry 3 passengers, 3 large suitcases, a wheelchair, and has an enclosed lavatory.
As a company, we understand the sensitive nature of this time. We work hard to take away as much of that burden as we can, so our clients can focus on their loved ones' needs. For example, if they have private insurance, we'll confirm benefits, submit, and track the claim to closure.
If you need to get a loved one across the state or around the world, Air Ambulance Worldwide has the experience to complete the mission safely. All of this with the finest aircraft and medical teams in the industry, you can rest assured you are in trusted hands. Call us today, toll free at 877-922-9675 or direct at 727-781-1198.
Call Catania and Catania today, 1-800-253-5523, or visit CataniaandCatania.com. Catania and Catania, your injury law attorneys, serving the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. Non-attorney spokesperson, offices Tampa.
From the Bright House Network's traffic center, they cleared the earlier crash westbound on I-4 near Park Road. It's still slow through here. There's an accident in Clearwater on Highland Avenue near Jeffords Street. In Tampa, a wreck on Kennedy Boulevard at McDill Avenue. 41 remains closed with railroad crossing repair in both directions north of Riverview Drive, and there's an accident on Swan at Sterling. See traffic problems? Call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Utica Hillsborough traffic tip line at 866-545-9595.
1250 winds, Weather Center forecast. Upper 80s, low 90s this afternoon. We'll see sunny skies, scattered clouds, and showers and storms pick up in the mid-afternoon into the evening hours. That's when we'll see some of those strong ones possibly through the late afternoon, early evening. Lows in the mid-70s. The rest of the week, upper 80s, low 90s. Should be a bit warmer even towards the end of the week. Maybe see some of those mid-90s inland. Rain chance holding steady at 40-50% each day, and mainly the afternoon variety. Wall Street today at 11:33. Dow down 38. NASDAQ off 10. The S&P Index red 3. Down to 16,737.
The Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ. It's about taking care of yourself while you take care of others. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour show. So excited. We are celebrating our 4th year anniversary of being on the air here at Clear Channel, and we're so thrilled to have our guest today. And, of course, I love having Tina Costa on from Arcadia Home Care and Staffing. What a great company. What a great woman. What a great message. So, Tina, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Kim.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing great. So we've been talking about the myths and facts of self-care. And when I say that, what comes up for you?
I think probably when Joe first told me that was going to be the theme, I was like, oh, wow, how am I going to, and that's the honest truth. How am I going to incorporate that into what we're talking about? And then it became very easy because I started to think, okay, well, there's myths and fact and fiction about pretty much everything in life. And there is definitely some things that people believe to be true that are definitely not when it comes to home care. So I thought I can do this.
Yes,
I can do this, and
this
it was
is
fairly
what I meant
easy.
About talking about how it's really made you.
Yeah, it does.
Think
it brings me to a different place. Absolutely, and it's stuff that I started. That God, I see this every day, so I need to share it.
And it also brings a sense of leadership because no one else is talking like the way you're talking, and being involved with the radio show and all that we do. It really does. It complements what you do, Tina, so well, and it gives you that platform, and I'm so thrilled.
I like the fact that we've been doing it consistently since the very beginning.
Yes.
There's never been a doubt or a hesitation in my mind or in Arcadia's mind because of the support that they have and that they believe in me and they believe in you, and there was never a question. So
that's great.
It makes me happy.
Terrific. So why don't we go back to the myths and facts?
Okay.
And really help our listeners and viewers understand some things that I want them to have the facts.
Well,
always,
yeah, and I think
the
because
truth.
There's misconceptions out there, it's a
Let's talk
roadblock
about that.
to people.
Yes.
So, and I think probably
Absolutely.
one of the biggest ones that we hear about on a regular basis is that it's too expensive. Home care is too expensive. Now, we're talking more about the private duty side of home care. I'm not talking about the Medicare side.
Right.
The portion that Medicare will pay for or commercial insurance may pay for. I'm talking about private duty that isn't covered by those two types of sources. So, but it's just like anything else in our world. It's about supply and demand. And, you look at the way cell phones were 10 years ago, it wasn't for everybody. Everybody couldn't afford it.
Right.
Home care, same thing. It's
that's a great
not
analogy,
like it used to be.
actually.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it just pie in the sky, man. You had to be, a celebrity or really, really wealthy
Right.
to carry a cell phone. And now pretty much you can get them almost for free, depending if you're willing to sign a contract. So home care, it's the same thing. It's extremely affordable, but there's different levels.
Yes.
And that's the important part. And it's not a matter of one being bad or good. It's a matter of education and knowing what your priorities are and aligning yourself with the right type of home care agency, I think, is the key.
So why don't we jump in right now and give them your phone number in
Okay.
case we have a listener who only has a short amount of time to be
Okay.
listening to the show right now, and they may want to call and get some information.
Okay.
Let's do that.
It is 727-579-9414. And they can speak with Sue or Tammy, who are my scheduling coordinators. And
Okay.
then my location manager is Deborah Sutton, and she'd be more than happy to help as well. And we do what's really nice, and a lot of companies do, so I don't want to make it seem like it's just us. We'll provide a complimentary free initial consultation assessment in the home. There's no obligation to that, but at least it gives you an idea of what you're looking at.
So I'm going to ask my listeners and viewers to please call and make this appointment just to get the information.
Right.
I don't want you to feel like you have to make any kind of commitment. You don't. But once you have someone come in and do this free assessment, it's going to be a better picture of what you're dealing with, because they're going to ask you questions that you don't necessarily think about, and that's going to be more knowledge, and knowledge is power, as we've always talked about.
Right, exactly. And I think that's part, it's arming yourself with information. A lot of people don't even know enough to know what to ask.
Exactly, and this is where you get guided, and that's why I'm always talking about guidance as well as having the information.
Yeah, and it's important, and I will say, so it's important to talk to more than one sometimes. You got to find a good fit. And
Right.
it's just, unfortunately, it's like dating.
Right.
Sad but true.
Yes.
You got to find the right connection.
Yes, you do.
The something's got to be right.
And once you do, you're like, this feels right.
This is good. Why did I wait so long to
Right,
do this?
Exactly. So tell us another one. Do you have another one up
Well,
your sleeve?
I would say probably another big one that we receive, and this isn't just from the community, from clients and family members, but it's from professionals that are out there that I talk to and educate on what we do and how we help, is that you can only get home care in your home. And that is completely not true. We will go just about anywhere that they'll let us go and provide services, whether it's skilled nursing, whether it's a rehab, whether it's the hospital, the home that you live in, retirement community, wherever it is, assisted living.
So all of these things that Tina is listing are places where you are maybe visiting and spending a lot of time. And what we're saying is this is your way to take a break. This is your respite, whether it's an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, just giving yourself that break, whether you have a loved one in a hospital or in a nursing home or in rehab. We're just saying this is the way. You want to have someone there to be your eyes and ears and just help with your loved one, but this is your way to really take a break so that you can come back feeling a little more refreshed.
Well, and we actually got a call. I'll use this as an example. Friday night, I want to say it was probably 8 or 8:30 at night. Now, the call came from a professional guardian that we work with, and her client was discharged from the hospital. And normally you don't get a discharge that late, but they did. And she was going back to a rehab facility, and this care manager needed a break. I mean, she was just tired. She was exhausted. And again, it's sometimes our professionals even have a tough time.
Oh my gosh.
Knowing when to say, I need to go home. I
Right.
need to eat something. I need to wash my face, change my clothes. And so we were able to get in there and help her that night, and we helped her
That's
Saturday
great.
as well. So it's private duty is also, a lot of people don't look on it as an emergency necessarily. Arcadia, we are 24/7, 7 days a week. It's always an emergency to us, is how I would say. We answer the phone, and we not only answer the phone live, we don't have an answering service,
Okay.
but we will deliver the service as quickly and as competently and as professionally as we can, and we were able to help in this situation. So that's why I tell people,
great.
we're not I broke my leg or I got in a car accident or I twisted my ankle kind of company. But we're this kind of company that when you just can't do it, or you aren't physically able to do it, or whoever's been doing it can't because they're sick or something, call us. Give us a try.
Well, Arcadia has a great reputation, not just in my eyes, but many people's eyes.
Thank
and
you.
You've done a great job, Tina, getting the message out there. So again, Arcadia Home Care and Staffing is all over the United States. And for locations, where should they go to?
Go to our main website is what I would tell people, www.arcadiahomecare.com. And there's a map there, and you just plug in where you're looking. And what I would suggest is if you don't see something on there in an area, call the closest office to where it is, because we have partners we work with all across the country that will be able to help. And at least you're not starting from scratch with absolutely nothing.
You could say, I heard it on the Caregiver Hour,
Correct.
and I heard Tina Costa speaking, and I know that, I don't live in Tampa Bay area, so can you help me with another good company with a reputation?
And we will do
and that
that.
just shows the level of professionalism that Arcadia has.
Well, it should be that way. It's a matter of if somebody calls and they're looking for a service
Right,
that
they're
we don't
looking for
provide,
help.
they're looking for help.
Right.
There's a difference there.
Right.
Yeah, they may be looking for a specific service, but they're also looking for help. If we can't provide it, I'm going to help them find someone that can.
Okay. So we have about 3 more minutes before we go to our break.
Okay.
And I would like to know what other one that
I think
what other myth or fact.
There's another biggie on here, and I'm just going to read to you what it is. Home care workers steal from and abuse elders.
Okay. That is a big one.
That's a biggie. And what I will say, and I went online and did some Googling too to kind of find out the stuff, even to be honest with you, some of the things that I thought were myths to confirm that, yes, they were, and what's the best way to dispel some of those. And I think the majority of those types of situations, not all, but the majority are due to people hiring caregivers privately that are not regulated, maintained, and supervised by a fully licensed and accredited home health agency. And that's where you get into trouble. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen on the other end too. It does. I won't
right.
Blow smoke and say it doesn't, but I think there's a less of a chance of it the more closely the caregivers
because
are
there's
monitored.
more accountability.
Correct. Exactly.
There's more oversight.
Yeah. So when you talk about hiring someone privately versus using an independent contractor through a nurse registry or using a fully licensed home health agency like Arcadia, there's differences in those levels. And again, it's a lot to get into, probably more than we can do now. But we can go over that with someone when they call. Okay. Because obviously there's cost differences.
Absolutely.
But there's a reason for those cost differences. So.
All right, let's give them your information one more time,
Sure,
Tina.
absolutely. Mm-hmm. They can go to arcadiahomecare.com, and if you want to go directly to the St. Petersburg website, just put a / in there and then put STPETERSBURG. Just type in St. Petersburg without spelling out the Saint, and you can get because each office has their own website as well. And they can call the office at 727-579-9414 anytime.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much,
And
Tina.
if they want to speak with me directly, they will give you my cell phone. So it's okay to ask.
Okay, but we're not going to talk about it on the show.
No,
they have to
no. They have to
office.
call. You got to make that first call, and then
understand.
they'll be happy to connect you to me.
But if you call me, I've got the number.
Exactly.
Too, so
I mean,
either way.
we're celebrities. We got to be careful about this stuff.
Exactly. So I do want to say that this segment, of course, has been sponsored by Arcadia Home Care and Staffing. And again, we're so grateful for your company to have created this fabulous flyer that talks about take a break. And we certainly support our caregivers to do that. And you have all the information right here on the flyer, but also on the show, just talking about how to connect with us. Tina Costa and Arcadia Home Care and Staffing are all connected on our website, thecaregiverhour.com. Stay with us. There is more to come, yes, as we celebrate our 4th year anniversary. I'm Kim Linder. You're listening to The Caregiver Hour on 1250 WINS WHNZ.
I'm Mike Lavoie with Beacon Asset Management. While 30 years of experience in financial services may have prepared me to be a certified financial planner, no amount of planning could have prepared me for the stress of being a caregiver. The financial planning my dad and I did when my mother became ill made caring for her bearable. At Beacon, we are committed to helping you take care of your financial needs so you can take care of your loved ones. Give us a call at 813-269-0732. 813-269-0732.
Your home is where you feel relaxed, safe, and secure. Arcadia Home Care understands that you want to maintain that freedom and independence, even though you may be recuperating from an injury, illness, or simply require a little support with daily activities of living. You create a plan for your life as you envision it, and you can rest assured Arcadia will provide companionship, personal care, housekeeping, shopping, and errands, or whatever you need. They deliver their services with compassion, dependability, and professionalism. Their caregivers are screened, bonded, and insured, and must meet rigorous hiring standards, so you are confident you're receiving the best care possible for you or your loved one. Visit ArcadiaHomeCare.com or call St. Petersburg at 727-579-9414 to schedule your free in-home assessment and learn how Arcadia can enhance your quality of life while helping you stay at home and healthier longer. Call Arcadia Home Care, 727-579-9414, providing quality services since 1978.
Caregivers now have some help with adult care and respite in St. Petersburg. A comprehensive 6-day-a-week adult day program developed to offer outstanding care and respite to senior adults and their caregivers. Adult Care and Respite offers a variety of personalized health and social programs, as well as support groups. For more information, call 727-329-8744 or visit adultcareandrespite.com. 727-329-8744.
Hi, it's Kim Linder from the Caregiver Hour. I want to tell you about an attorney in Clearwater that I have known for over 7 years. His name is Bill Rambaum, and I have referred many families to him for his legal expertise. Bill is one of less than 100 attorneys to be evaluated by the Florida Bar and become certified as a specialist in elder law. His 30 years of experience and impeccable credentials make him one of the most highly regarded legal experts in our area. Give Bill a call today at 727-781-5357 or visit rambaumlaw.com. Non-attorney spokesperson.
Dr. Kelly Miller of Miller Clinic for Optimal Health is a chiropractic and naturopathic physician with a certification in acupuncture and aging and regenerative medicine. Dr. Miller integrates the healing arts of chiropractic, acupuncture, and naturopathy with the latest international information on functional aging. Dr. Miller's unique knowledge and skill set allows him to help his patients to keep moving well, keep thinking well, and keep looking their best. Miller Clinic for Optimal Health, 813-774-3744 or drkellymiller.com.
Gulfside Hospice and Pasco Palliative Care provides individualized, compassionate, and comfort care to those living with chronic or life-limiting illness. Caring for Pasco County residents exclusively for 25 years, Gulfside Hospice and Pasco Palliative Care's goal is to make every day count for their patients and loved ones. To find out how they can help, call today at 800-561-4883 or visit online at ghppc.org.
It's the Caregiver Hour on 1250 Wins WHNZ with encouragement, guidance, and support for caregivers. Here's your host, Kim Linder.
Hello, and welcome back to the Caregiver Hour radio show. If you missed any part of this show, we encourage you to go to one of our podcasts or archives, and you can watch it at your convenience 24/7 on thecaregiverhour.com. The show is also on an encore show of this is also on Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. So you've got double exposure, and then you've got 24/7 when you can watch this at your convenience and really help take care of yourself and create balance in your life as a caregiver. We've got a few announcements, and one of them is that this segment is being brought to you by Brookdale Grand Court of Tampa. And Grand Court of Tampa, I've been there quite a bit, and they've got a beautiful independent and assisted living community with options, and it's on beautiful Bayshore Boulevard looking over the bay. And for more information, I encourage you to make an appointment and have a tour. That's at 1-866-562-7080. Again, that's 1-866-562-7080. They've got a great marketing team, and they can take you around and answer all your questions about independent and assisted living. Adam's house. Now, I have not been there yet, so I can't say I've been there, done that, but I'm going to be there, and I'm excited about that. They have an event coming up Thursday, June 26th at 10:30 a.m. at the Adams House, and that's on McDill Avenue in Tampa. And their community, what they've done is they've partnered with USF Health Bird Alzheimer's Institute, and Eileen Poyley is going to be there, and she's the director of education. She's phenomenal. I've seen her in action. She does wonderful things for caregivers, and has a wealth of information about Alzheimer's, of course. But she's just a lovely person. And again, this event is called Communicating with a Person with Alzheimer's Disease and Memory Loss and Strategies for Managing Behaviors, because behaviors do pop up when someone does have Alzheimer's. And if you are a caregiver and you don't know how to handle that, this is the event for you to go to. Again, that's on Thursday, June 26th at 10:30 a.m. And I know I will be there, so it'll be posted on our calendar, but also on our homepage, thecaregiverhour.com. We post all these events on our calendar so that you can kind of pick and choose what's going to be work best for you. You certainly can call Libby or Tracy at 813-835-5700 to make your reservation, and I will be there, and I'll be thrilled to see you there. Also, Connerton Court. This is a new assisted living place that I just went to. It's assisted living and memory care. What a great team of people. They just opened up. So please join us to celebrate the opening of their newest assisted living community called Connerton Court, New Tampa. And that's on Friday, June 27th from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And I just went for a tour last week with Karen and her team, and they really have such a commitment to people with dementia. And there's some really great surprises there. The environment, some of the programs that they've put together are very unique. Again, it's Connerton Court, New Tampa, Friday, June 27th from 3 to 7 p.m. And for those of us who are in the professional caregiving role, you want to always check out new places so that you can help other people who you're connected with, whether it's in the industry or with family caregivers, about what's the newest and greatest. Because just again, I've got Adam's house that I'm going to be going to, and the Connerton I'm going to be going to. So again, it's Connerton Court, New Tampa, and Adam's house. So if you want more information, you always can get in touch with me by emailing me at kim@thecaregiverhour.com. I also talked about our caregiver resource helpline earlier during the show. And again, if you are someone who needs some help, has a question, has a concern, maybe you're burned out, don't know where to turn, don't even know what's the first question to ask, you want to call me. I'm your caregiver coach, and that number is toll-free at 1-877-552-4950. And that's available 24/7. So I want to come back and talk to Dr. Kelly Miller. I like to call you Dr. Kelly, but I know it's Dr. Miller, so I want to be respectful. I know
Dr.
you answered to
Kelly's
both.
fine.
Okay, well, thank you. So, Dr. Kelly, we were talking about vitamin D. We were talking about, having sleep. What else do you want our listeners and viewers to be thinking about as they try to create this balance in their lives as caregivers?
Well, several things, just very quickly, because we only have a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Right? So, just think about what you eat, what you drink, how you rest, how you exercise, what you breathe, and what you think, are 6 essentials of life. But if there's any caregivers out there who are having a health challenge, or need some help with the person they're taking, I would encourage them to call in for a consultation and have a very personal, intimate conversation with me to develop a strategy, not only to help with whatever this emergency is, but also what I do is help people develop strategies to have quality longevity in their life. And that's what I want to do. So I'm going to do 2 specials today.
Okay.
Normally my consultation fee is $105. So if you mention this next week that you heard me on the Caregiver, it'll be $10. And normally our vitamin D testing is $90, and we're going to do that for $60.
Great.
This week.
Okay. Well, you heard it here on the Caregiver Hour, and I hope you will take advantage. So, Dr. Kelly, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Call the office at 813-774-3744, or contact me on my website, drkellymiller.com. There's a place for new patients to sign up there. There's also a place for newsletters, so please sign up for the newsletter. Tell us what your interests are, and we can send you back issues of newsletter as well, if you like.
That's great. Thank you so much. And Tina, as we close this segment today, maybe you've come up with another myth or fact about self-care.
Yeah, well, something I wanted to touch on real quick is a lot of people think that if their mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, whoever it is that they're a friend, whatever, that they're caring for, that if they require constant care, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that completely lets me out of the home care arena. That is not necessarily true. It may not be, if it's a cost concern, there are ways to work around that. If it's a skill level concern, then yeah, they maybe need to be in a skilled nursing facility. I'm not saying that, but if they're at a level that can be cared for at home, there's other ways. Yes, if you have someone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, it can run anywhere from, $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a week.
Yes.
To pay privately.
Right.
But something we do at Arcadia, and I'm sure other companies offer as well, is we partner with maybe the person they've hired privately.
Okay.
Or the family member, or if they're using an independent contractor. And by that, what I mean is because they're less expensive than we are.
Yes.
But again, by having us in there part of the time, you're getting some level of supervision and monitoring as in terms of from a professional, and oversee the case by a nurse. So I mean, you're not getting us in there constantly, but we may be in there one shift a day.
Okay.
Or one shift every other day, or whatever it may be, that just at least gives you that peace of mind. Yes, you've got and it's also the personality, the connection thing. They may be very well bonded to that private caregiver or to that friend or family member that's helping. We don't want to take that away. We just want to give a little bit of extra sense of security and safety by having a professional, trained, certified person in there on some level.
Well, and I also like that you talked about the medical piece where you can have a nurse being overseeing that as well, and not interfering, but overseeing.
Correct. It's not getting in there and trying to take over. It's integrating, but so at least you've got that peace of mind that there is someone with proper credentials and training and experience that's laying eyes on the scene.
I think that was a great one, actually, to close this segment.
Yeah.
So again, my listeners and viewers, I've brought you a wonderful show with a team of great experts, people with passion and integrity who are really here to help you. And they happen to also be listed on Kim's preferred list. So just look at our website, thecaregiverhour.com, and check out the bottom of the homepage, and you can click to my whole list, and you will see these wonderful sponsors and really guests for today. So, Tina, would you like to close close with a message today?
Yeah, well, actually, I found a quote of the day that I really like today. And when I did the search, when something comes up right away, I kind of take it as a sign. That's just me. I'm kind of quirky that way. But and I want to see if I can remember exactly how it read, but it was very appropriate for today. Courage does not always have to be a roar. Courage can be the little voice you hear that says, I'll try this again tomorrow.
That's wonderful. With that, I'm going to close and say have a beautiful day and take care of yourself. Think about what we talked about today and integrate it somehow into your life, and have that quiet courage. Have that ability to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to at least make an inquiry and get more information. And Dr. Kelly was so kind to offer us two wonderful special offers as being listeners and viewers of the Caregiver Hour. So thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. And thank you so much, Tina, for being here today.
You're welcome.
Have a beautiful week, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week on the Caregiver Hour. I'm Kim Linder on 1250 Winds WHNZ.
The opinions, viewpoints, and promises made during the preceding program are not those of WHNZ AM, its staff, management, or parents.